I did the research. I used to take NMN, but then I stopped. Not because of what it did, but because of what it didn't. I'm Dr. Joanette, longevity expert, professor of medicine, and a Blue Zone native. Blue zones are those areas where people don't just live longer, they also live better. And in today's video, I want to share with you why I started taking NMN and then I stopped. Also, what the science says might actually surprise you. So make sure you watch all the way to the end and you will learn 4 things that I now do instead of taking NMN to boost my energy, improve my focus, and boost my performance. Let's dive in and start with some basics. What is NMN and also NAD+? NMN is nicotinamide mononucleotide, and NAD+ is nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide. Big names for 2 molecules in our body that are actually coenzymes critical for energy production. NMN is a precursor to NAD+, and NAD+ is what takes electrons and shuttles them into our electron transport system, a system for generation of ATP. It's how our mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cell, generate ATP. That is a simplified version, but in a nutshell, that's how our cell makes energy. Energy is ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the energy currency of our cell. If we didn't have ATP, we would not be alive. The other thing that NMN does is that it is important for DNA synthesis and repair. So mistakes that happen in our DNA are dependent upon NMN and NAD+ in helping our body and our cells correct those mistakes. So the theory is that if you could increase NMN, and that was what the research I looked at, it said that if I took an NMN supplement, that it would increase NAD+ in my body, which is the molecule that's important for energy production. So I took it for 6 months, and I took it every day. I looked at what was a reputable brand, what was a good dose, and at the end of the 6 months, I was actually disappointed because I had hoped that it would be helpful. It wasn't. I saw no difference in my energy, my focus, or my overall performance. So then I went back to the research, went back and took a much deeper look, and here's what I found. There's a number of studies out there that do show that NMN supplements increase NAD+ in the blood. There's a study out at Tokyo done by Yoshino in 2021. It was a well-done study. It was randomized, double-blinded, placebo-controlled, and it demonstrated a very small metabolic benefit in obese postmenopausal women who had diabetes, but it didn't show any clinically significant change in their energy, their focus, or their performance. Another study that I looked at was a big meta-analysis of 8 NMN studies, and this time it looked at generally healthy adults, and once again, it didn't show any benefit in metabolic function, in energy, or focus. So this research was promising, but the evidence just isn't there yet. So if you are now realizing that NMN might not be the answer, hit that like button and subscribe, because here is the hard truth. What many of us want is a supplement, a pill, a quick fix. Why? Because we're tired, we have brain fog, and we aren't able to perform at the level that we used to. In part because as we age, our chemicals in our body that give us energy, that give us ATP, also decline. So we're tired, we're exhausted, and what better way to help than with a pill? But a pill will not undo what has become for many of us decades of poor sleep, highly processed, ultra-processed food, lots of stress, and sitting instead of moving. Energy isn't something that you can swallow, you can take a pill. Instead, it's something that you are going to have to build, that I am going to have to build, that's something that I am building, and I am going to show you how you can build it as well. So here's what I do to build energy. And I gotta be honest, it's not very trendy, but the science has proven it works. Here are the 4 things that I do. I exercise by moving my body naturally. I get both aerobic and strength training exercises. No, I don't have a gym membership, but I am able to get both strength training and aerobic exercises just moving throughout my day. Number 2 is I have ditched all of the ultra-processed foods, all of the junk foods, and now I go back to my Blue Zone basics. When I struggle with something, I think back to what was my heritage, what was my Blue Zone basics, what did my ancestors do, what do my parents do, what did my grandparents do? What they did was they ate a whole foods from the earth, natural diet. They incorporated lots of protein into my diet growing up. We ate fruits and vegetables. We had a big organic garden. We grew most of what we ate. And I know that isn't realistic for many people today, but we can still eat a primarily plant-based whole grain diet. And the protein we can eat, if we choose to eat animal protein, can be clean. The next thing is sleep. This is probably where I struggle the most. As a physician who has spent the last 30 plus years working the night shift in a big, busy ER in the urban center, I struggle to get that 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And I don't even say a night, I say day or night. But for you, prioritize your sleep. Try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And lastly, connection. Connection/stress reduction is huge when it comes to having better energy, more focus, and living longer. Connect with you. Connect with who you are through meditation and mindfulness, and that will help reduce your stress, but also connect with the people in your life. One of the things that I do connect with the people in my life is I have 5 grandkids, and I send them a text. I let them know every day that grandma's thinking about them, that I love them, and that somebody here in this world takes the time to reach out to them every day and let them know how important they are. And they also then reach back out to me, of course. So start somewhere. Maybe it's just a 10-minute walk in the morning. Get that sunlight into your pineal gland and shut off the melatonin. Start your day by balancing your circadian rhythm. Eat a longevity plate. For more about what a longevity plate is, scroll down to the description below, and there's a link out to my website, growwithdrjoanette.com. Search for longevity plate, and you'll be able to see my longevity plate. Go to bed half hour earlier or an hour earlier if that's what you need to get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And lastly, reduce your stress with some breathing techniques, and also be present with and for the people in your life. Bit by bit, these small steps will stack up until all of a sudden 3-4 months down the road, you've now rewired your brain. That's about how long it takes to rewire your brain for a newer, better, healthier habit. And you will see your physical health and your mental health change. These 4 steps are the real energy pill, and that's why I stopped taking NMN. It didn't move the needle for me, and research also didn't convince me that it was going to. Remember, I am here to help you grow stronger, smarter, and become more energized with science-backed, research-supported tips, techniques, and suggestions that I've pulled forward from my Blue Zone heritage, combined with my clinical knowledge, my research knowledge as a medical professor, and brought them to you so that you can benefit from my experience, my heritage, and my research. Thank you for watching me today, for subscribing, and also for visiting my website, growwithdrjoanette.com. Let's grow healthier together. We'll see you next time on the Dr. Joanette channel.